Like, what made Samoset in your minds different and special that you could ask anybody that ever went there, even if it was for 1 year, and you say, what was this? And they will tell you exactly what that meant to them.
I'll take that. Bunk Feast. CB, you agree?
I would say competition.
Well, definitely competitions, but Bunk Feast was an event that you didn't have to, it was towards the end of the summer. And in our day, you had saved up all your nickel can refundables and you got your canteen money. And it was a night that you set up and you ate as much food as you could, lobsters and pizza and steak and steamers and you name it. The counselors left camp all afternoon and went shopping, and each bunk just ate and ate and ate until you can imagine the outcome. And so that is something, when I talk to people from camp who didn't go back as long as we did, they always ask, remember Bunk Feast. Definitely the competitions, the hatred you would have for another camp, similar to a Yankee Red Sox rivalry, you had that within the camps.
And who did you feel was your number one hate on camp?
Camp Cedar. No
Really?
doubt.
Yeah, definitely.
Not Takaho, huh?
Takaho would have been up there.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Takaho's top 5, definitely.
Oh, Takaho's top 2. It would go Cedar, Takaho. I don't think there was a 3.
And
Androscoggin. And partly because these were the camps that were really competitive, and these are the ones you wanted to play.
Right.
The camps that weren't as competitive, we didn't see as a rival, so it wasn't a hatred, if that makes sense.
These are for our audience. These are single sex, all boys camps, and very sports oriented camps. So when Cedar would play Samoset, or any of those camps would play each other in intercamp, especially as you got older, some of those soccer games and some of those basketball games would get a little testy.
I mean, so Cedar was a couple miles away from Samoset. Takaho was only a couple miles farther. Androscoggin was a little bit of a ride, but to this day as well, all of us that went on to play high school and college athletics and a high level of coaching, we can remember those games. But the games I remember even more is the 15 and under Cedar basketball invitational. Those are the things you never forget, some of these camp moments.
Got it. Colin, go ahead.
I was going to say to you, obviously, Jeff Hacker. You could not have met a more competitive. When he was a camper, first of all, he was an excellent athlete at everything, and he was ultra competitive.
Right.
But Cedar always used to say, oh, Samoset's the really competitive camp. We're not that competitive. Well, that was crap. I'm sorry to put it that way, but it was, because they were as competitive as anyone. Would you agree, Seth?
I would agree. And to be fair, they were great camps. All these camps are great camps. It's just they weren't our camp. It's the old speech. They're the same as us, except they're not at the right camp. It's one of those deals.
Love it. Colin, any traditions because you only saw camp from the staff side, so any kind of things that the staff would look forward to that's shareable?
Yes. I would say that one day of the week when you were allowed to leave camp and you had a day off. And of course, Maine fairly well. Ogunquit was always the place we wanted to go to. And that was back in the day when a little bit of drinking was allowed on the beach, which obviously does not happen anymore. And when you became a senior counselor, the great thing was you got Saturdays off, which was just fantastic. You were part of a big tradition. And I would say, staff used to get 3 nights off a week, but there were no rules. But if you came back and you were intoxicated, you would lose. If you weren't fired for being horribly intoxicated, you would lose 1 night, 2 nights, 3 nights off. You would lose them because you could tell straight away. The senior staff would know straight away if someone couldn't perform the next day.
Take a moment to shine.